What's up, guys? What a fucking life it's been for the last week and a half, I want to say. I had been really strategic about waiting till a certain aspect of my healing that I wanted to be at before I allowed myself to travel. Before I allowed myself to start buying clothes again, anything again, shoes, everything. I did not allow myself to buy things because I needed to get away from the material. I needed to get away from, I'm important today because of what I'm wearing. And I feel this way because I look, a certain way with my makeup, and I needed to get away from just buying stuff, have more consumer consciousness. So over the last 3 years, I've only spent maybe a good $200 to $300 on clothes and stuff for myself, which is really good for me because I feel like I used to just dress sometimes my insecurities, I've gotten better with really recognizing that, but I just would sometimes my, and I really wasn't a big spender, nothing super crazy, but I just didn't want to be so focused on what's adorning me, and not more of the frequency that I'm giving off, right? Which is more potent and radiant and connects more with people than your clothes ever will. I met some fucking not so good people. I'll just put it that way. Wearing some nice ass clothes, I don't mean shit, right? And so, over the last so many years, I've really gotten away from the material world. With COVID, it was kind of easy just to disconnect, regroup myself, really come into center, because prior to COVID, I was married-ish. Never in a church or through a ceremony. It was just for insurance purposes, let's go sign paperwork. And I just wasn't living. I had what I needed. I had more than what I needed. And I didn't even really recognize it because I just was not living out of the heart. It's you. Sorry. And I was just I was not attenuative to my happiness as much as I am. And again, putting away the material world, putting away the societal norms, the societal habits, patterns, the old realm of what's rich, now what's rich to me is people's spirits, and how good I feel around people, because I was stopped focusing on the other bullshit for myself and started focusing more on how I felt, right, and my spirit and all this. So then it opened me up to all of these people that were out of just the heart, And that's when I started really meeting people that aligned well with me. And now it's I've done so much of the eternal work. I destroyed so much. I came up to things that I was holy shit, where the did this come from? How do I deserve this in this life? And I'm just damn, what did I do. And it's like, oh yeah, we're learning that, like, coming into a new paradigm, we're like getting past, you know, time and structure. We're able to access, you know, above that time and structure, right? And to kind of see the loops and patterns that we go through are really like these karmatic lessons that we need to address, right? And the bigger the problem, you know, the bigger the karma that needs to be served and needs to be attended to. And yeah, I just I see a lot of people finally coming out. It was a time of destruction. Literally, when it comes to astrology, was so much to do with the destruction, right? With this, it's like Pluto, Uranus, which Pluto's the planet of transformation, rebirth, death and rebirth, right? And Uranus is the planet of change, the rebel of the planets. Has a really rebellious energy that is served well in Aquariuses, dawning the Aquarian age, right? And so much had to do with a lot of Saturnian energy too. Saturn getting really torn up by Pluto and by Uranus being in Taurus and all of this crazy shit, right? So even like Uranus and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is getting, her energy is getting into this like rebellious, changing energy, right? And we see that within the feminine like aspect of us, right? When the feminine starts to get rebellious and a little bit more into her dark goddess aspect, it can be very destructive. And what does this mean? Okay, so I'll slow it down and break it down real quick. So like this, almost week and a half ago, I went to Vegas, and it was like no other Vegas trip I had ever even pictured, honestly. I ended up at Area 15, which is a very new, higher consciousness art museum, and just kind of like this fun playhouse. That is for all ages, but they do have these fun gatherings, festivals that can be placed there. And so when we're in our goddess energy, feminine energy, we're nurturing, our heart's open, we're dancing, we're playing, we're dressing up, we're having this fun, relaxed, let go, fun, chaotic waters, not so structured and like trying to make logic of everything, right? We're more in our mythic side. We're allowing this more of the mythos of life to take place. So this whole place is just vibrating with this energy, right? It's already this huge, beautiful museum of just like imagination, illusion, things that really make you think outside of the box and more mythos, right? So when we are playing in this energy, right, and there's music, even depending on the music, really, which this music was very like instrumental based, a lot of bass, a lot of just real high vibrational music, I would say. Heart space is, if I had to direct it into any space, it would be very heart spaced music. So when we're working in this like goddess place, right, we start to introduce the goddesses or the mother's medicines, plant medicine, fungi, different servings, and plant poisons, right? We start to remove blockages, right? So we kind of are actually entering into the dark goddess energy a little bit at first. Sometimes people have bad trips, they kind of trip out a little bit too much, or we as like psychonauts kind of understand what's going on in our bodies, so we learn how to use like the dark goddess, the dance, the flow to really break through. And so when we have that energy where these women are like this feminine energy, not just women and males, females and males, it's just this a feminine aspect in all of us that is really getting a full rebirth and change. And according to the like Mayan calendar, the this calendar, the Maya translates to illusion, so this calendar officially ends as of today. What is it, July 25th? And we enter this whole new realm. I'm just gonna put it that way. And it's gonna look different for everyone. But it's also this mass shift that is occurring with people. And a lot of it has to do on a spiritual level. When we break things down into elements, right? We are really got this like big dose of water energy, right? We even saw water in the desert. There's been like a lot of water rains around the United States, Colorado, in the desert, in Vegas. When I was in Vegas, we actually couldn't touch down for 30 minutes. Had to stay up in the air, super fucking rocky ass ride, plane ride, but there was literally like puddles and flash floods all over Vegas, yo. It was crazy. Fucking rainbow just opened up this portal of light. And I really truly feel like that occurs because the collective is going through that too, those Cancer waters, that timing ruled by Cancer, it was so like heart-opening. Swelling is what I keep getting. It's like a sponge, like the desert, or like a sponge that's been so dried out and it finally just got all this water and it's just swelling and it's like dripping wet now. It's kind of what I'm picturing. So it's just like a very heart-opening experience. I think a lot of people, it was a true Cancer season, where we had a lot of water, we had a lot of alignment, where planets were in their houses. And and where planets were in such alignment. We're being ruled by the moon. The moon is, a luminary, lights up the whole fucking area wherever it's over. And it has a lot to do with our existence, right? And the energies that we pull, that more feminine energy. So it really pulled those tides up. It really fucking just took some people under. I feel like our masculine side especially. So whether that's the masculine side within us allowed us to be really emotional as women, or for the men, I feel like they went through a pretty good dose of emotions. Yes. Conjunction, alliance. Those planets were in conjunction. They were aligning with each other. They were in alliance with each other, right? We are working together to really go in the right direction as a collective, right? We're gathering, we're realizing how much we need each other to really just to fly side by side, It's not like, oh, we need to be led, we need to be, it's like, no, we just need a flock to like fly with, to fuck with. Fly and fuck with, like, and I'm like chilling, fuck with, right? Is like flock, right? I love that. Conjunction, what's your function? Don't get me started, yes. We needed partnership, yo. We needed to just show each other like love. And I think right now what this is telling me too is like we as a collective went through this mass feminine awakening, and then our masculine is always, we always have that right behind it, right? So what that is telling me is like, yeah, our masculine right now is going through this huge rebirth. So this is what Spirit's telling me right now. So 4, we have, yeah, Cancer is the 4th house. Okay. So, okay, Aries is the masculine, the divine masculine. Aries is the first zodiac of the astrological year. Taurus, the 2nd house, the divine feminine, ruled by Venus. Aries is ruled by Mars, the divine masculine. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the divine feminine. They come together. Gemini, the twins, the light and the dark, they come together in union. Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So when we have the feminine, divine feminine and divine masculine, we have Mercury energy, which can provide us with a Kundalini arising. When we have Mercury energy, we're talking about Thoth, we're talking about Hermes, we're talking about a messenger of God. So when we're in those unions, we are in this clear communion with the union that we're in, that gets us to the godlike energy, meaning that when these two come in together, we commune and we come into union to make a new creation. So whether that's a new baby, in this case it will be, we come to Cancer, the mother of the zodiac. So after Gemini season, we come together, right? This is why we have Pride and everything in June, because everything is just like, let's just come together and just like find love and just so then yes, that brings us to the mother, right? So the mother becomes a mother before the father becomes a father. Sounds weird, right? But the mother carries the child for 10 months before the father ever gets to see, touch, you know, kind of feel, but fully feel, right? Smell, all of these things with the child, right? So then we have the mother, Cancer, the pregnant mother, sometimes because they're so emotional and just so like, read by the intuition though, right? The heart space. It's that heart space that's growing this child. It's making the baby bigger and bigger. So we are finding our tribe. We're finding partnerships. This doesn't necessarily have to mean like relationships, but shit, it could. We could be finding our soulmates, our twin flames, our just lovers for this timing, right? It's a lot lately, and it comes, there's like a lot of union energy, especially as the masculine is coming through this, a big awakening, right? So we have Cancer season, it's the mother. And then what does she birth? So Cancer is also is ruled by the moon, right? The mother. So then the mother births the sun, right? Leo season. Leo season's ruled by the sun. So we have this like kind of eclipsey energy a little bit, but this just like that real heavy sun and moon energy, right back to back. So that moon like swelled up our heart. Moon, Cancer again rules over the heart and the intuition. The sun is the solar plexus and the solar chakra and the crown chakra. This is where we take in the most sun energy, solar energy. And so the sun, oh, I love that. I don't know, Spirit's just showing me how like the sun, like basically like the child is like I don't know, it's like the heart, and then it's like, it looks like the roots, and then it's just like in the bottom of there, it's like this seed growing. I don't know, and it's like, I don't know, I just see it pulsating and the baby growing and growing. This is what Spirit's showing me. Oh my God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mother Earth. There's a little fly, sorry. Wow. Shine. Yeah. Find that union to the Cancer mother, become a mother. Then that mother births the son, the Leo sun, into the zodiac, but also we also make the father a father at this point, right? Because when we bring that son, that child, that creation into the world, when we bore the creation, so even fifth house Leo energy is all about the fun, the play, the excitement around the home space and the families, and also a lot about the king of the kingdom, right? The Leo energy, the lion, the feline energy. So this has a lot to do with crowning, right? So if Leo season rules over the crown and the solar plexus, this is when we're crowning. So we are making the father. We're crowning the father. Let's talk soil really quick, right? When it comes to Cancer season, the mother is the waters. Cancer season, all about the waters. Feminine is the waters. So she is nurturing and growing this seed, right? For it to sprout out of the ground, and then boom, we introduce the Leo sun to expand it, right? To crown it, to make it expand, right? When we crown ourselves, when we have an open crown chakra, this is how we receive energy and heavenly space energy. So solar energy, planetary energy, but mostly solar energy. We're solar beings, right? The Father who are in heaven, right? So this is the Father, and this is where this is our throne of God, right? We put the Father energy into the throne of God, the crown. So we're talking about the King of the kingdom, right? The Leo sun. This is why in Christianity you see a lot about the lion energy as well. There's a lot of shit coming to me. Okay. But yeah, I see right here, just like, it's kind of like crown space, like the sun. It's like, okay, the sun is coming in here so much. This is kind of like what it reminds me of is like at church when the sun is coming through the glass. It's like, so, it like shines through. That's like what I'm seeing with this picture, if you guys catch what I'm saying. And it's like even coming through his mouth, like it's like the sun energy is like, and it's like coming through the, maybe this is like a third eye, right? And the throat. So Spirit says that that's how the masculine is gonna come. This is the masculine getting the solar energy, and it's gonna allow them to really open up that throat chakra and speak and express more. Throat chakra is about how we express ourselves, how we present ourselves in this world. But it's also, a good throat chakra has a lot to do with the good heart, right? So the Leo is all about setting the heart on fire, and that's kind of how the masculine is going to really take in the fire energy. This is the first fire energy that they've had since Aries went into Jupiter. Jupiter went into Aries. Sorry. Did I say that right? Yeah. Jupiter went into Aries. So Jupiter is gonna like magnify any kind of energy that it's in. So it used to be in Pisces, which made it very like emotional, and like a lot of emotions and things got brought up. But then it moved into Aries. But at the end of Aries season, and it hasn't been very fiery since Aries season. So now coming up to the next fire season, Leo season, the masculine is gonna finally get this like spark that's just gonna be like, it's a fucking solar spark. Confidence. They're gonna get these downloads and epiphanies. And when I talk about masculine, I'm talking about all of us, right? We all have a masculine side. So maybe women are feeling like, oh wow, this is what I have to do. Oh, this is how I'm gonna go out and be this fucking lion, right? This feline energy. That's a very good sacred union of feminine energy. They take care of themselves. They nurture their cubs, their pack. I don't know if it's called a pack. What is it called? Their little tribe. Their den. I don't know. But they're also very masculine, right? They fucking hold their dominance. They are the fucking king of the kingdom, right? Highest incarnation of animal that you can be in the animal kingdom before you make it to human being, right? And so, yeah, it's like what is happening with our men. It's like the men are coming out of more of the animal kingdom, that more animal and like just like animal drive, to more of that, like, not to say human, like y'all weren't, like the masculine was existing less than a human, but we were very animalistic because we were in such survival mode, right? Because there was so much fear and destruction going on that it kind of makes men like, oh shit, my stability, right? So it is allowing them to come out of that hypermasculinity and to rebirth more into this feline, this like strong feminine masculine balance, sacred union energy, because they know that their feminine needs to nurture their masculine now, and not, the feminine doesn't need to destruct anymore. Our feminine side, it destructs and it creates. The masculine energy puts into, right? Hear me roar. That like good feline energy. I fucking love it. Yeah, we're really finding good partnership. And what I think of like with a lion is like everybody fucking respects the lion and nobody fucks with the lion, right? Maybe some sly motherfucking hyena type, I'm thinking the movie and shit, but like everybody has respect for the lion. In fact, I'm gonna read the page really quick. I feel drawn to it. I love lion energy. I love obviously feline energy, right? Look at my fucking tiger. She has lotuses for eyes and she has a lotus in her mouth, like just saying how like, tender she is. Shine for the benefit of all. Leo's lion symbol asks you to be brave, be visible, share from your heart, and warm all of those around you. Leo is a fixed fire sign ruled by the sun and is connected to the heart, the liver, and the upper back. The sun simmers here July 21st through August 22nd. Action. Take your space. Be visible. You demand that fucking respect, right? Because you're a fucking lion. Light up the room and also honor the light within others. Leo asks you to be the hearth fire of the situation. Hold other people's attention, not just for your own ego, but for their benefit, as an actor or teacher would do. Warm their lives and be the person that people gather around to share stories. Bask in the sun. Cultivate your community with love. Share the bounty of your culture. Renew your spirits by living life to its fullest. Be honest rather than modest. Dramatize the situation to get your point across, just to be sure to track where the truth ends and hyperbole begins. I love that. Connect with your expression and creative process to real feelings and honest facts. Teach, share, be generous with what you know what you know are and have, and know that those actions attract the love and exception. Exception. I said exception, but the love and appreciation you need. Then offer that same level of attention to others, and they will love you for it. People deeply appreciate being seen by you. Learn when to shine and when to step back and center another person, idea, or community. Challenge. If you're acting from a place of soul hunger, you are mistakenly thinking that any attention from others will fill that gaping hole. Not all attention is good attention. Stubbornness, the fear of being wrong, or the desire to be seen as the leader may blind you to what you are urgently needed. To what is urgently needed. Melodrama can disconnect you from the real feelings involved. Ooh, I felt sassy when I was saying that. Gift, love. Leo rules the heart. So bring your energy. So Leo rules over the heart space of like the fire in the heart space, right? And Cancer really rules over the moon aspect, kind of like we would say the backside of the heart space. It rules over the emotions and the flow of waters into the heart, right? And Leo rules over the heart space and the fire that goes through there. So rules of the heart. So bring your energy and an intention to your heart and let this chakra become a beacon. Honor the heart within each person you meet and watch the dynamics shift. Always honor people's heart. My practice as a shamanist highly involves witnessing people and their true power, okay? And it's always there, it's always just right there, and it really is just validating people and what they see and what they're feeling and showing them exactly what is kind of tethering them too far down here or too far up, right? We need to start using the people around us to come in alliance with when it comes to our tribe, the people that we want to be around, that we want to celebrate with, that we want to gather with, but then also the partnerships that are going to serve this new paradigm of this world, right? Oh, and I see these parrots as like good communicators, right? I even think of like Rio from this card and all the good music. Yes. Juno partnership. I love how the cards came out, how there's like yellowy colors in here, and then there's like some gold branches and stuff that they have on there, and like there's some like gold on them, and then it's like the Leo sun is just like amplifying that. So what I see here, what Spirit's telling me is like these connections and this like flow, and like even the veins connect our heart to all, or like our arteries connect our heart to all the small veins, and then the small vessels, the small capillaries, you know, we get smaller and smaller, right? And then it even comes back up, and it has a simultaneous energy of like flow in, flow out, go through, flow in, flow out, go through, you know? So it's like this new flow and alliance and flow that we have into our heart is going to like allow us to like truly shine. Like this new, I just see this as like gold, right? Not necessarily that, but it's like this flow that is gonna like allow our gold to like really shine and finally show our authenticity. Oh, spirit, don't do this to me. Okay, so what they're also saying is like the vessel, like these are like vessels too, you know, and like how in I think it's in the Japanese? Yeah, Japanese culture, they will mend a vase with gold paint. Or they'll mend it and then they'll paint it in gold. So this is what I see with these two couples. Oh, don't do this to me. I'm gonna start getting all emotional. And it's like, you know, they found mending, they found how to paint their wounds up, heal them, and then paint them gold and show it off, right? And our alliance and our community and tribe that we're connecting more with the heart space is going to allow that like gold flow to us to allow us to mend in a proper way. Like gold is strong, right? It's just like most purest and a very strong metal, right? And that is going to allow us to come into union and more as the partnerships, right? Where it's like equal give and take. We're like in partnership where I know what I got to do, you know what you got to do. It's not this like attachment, right? And that is going to allow us to shine, baby. To have fun, to bring fun back into relationships, fun back into the household, like to allow us to like rebirth our feminine energy, and then that feminine energy will know that we are the nurturers of the masculine, really honing that down, right? The feminine soil, the feminine body grounds heaven to earth. We bring children and we grow them and we spit them out. We, you know, the feminine soil will take this small seed and use that soil to nurture it, water it until it sprouts out and can receive the fatherly heavenly energy, right? But that fatherly heavenly energy is also what's making this magnetism of the, you know, the core of Mother Gaia, right? So it's just this beautiful synchronistic relationship. And I think because we've rebirthed so much feminine energy and it's no longer this like repressed energy, we're gonna see like creation just like at the all-time fucking highest. Maybe with like a lot of babies being born, that'd be beautiful. The lot we're not being born, they're even scared of like the population being too low here soon. Who knows? Growth, I already see it out in the world. Like the all this rain energy has been just growth. And now this Leo sun's gonna come in and just give so much solar energy into the plants, you know, that activates all the phytonutrients that it's like sucking from the Mother Earth. And yeah. All right, where are we at? 38 minutes. Let's go a little bit longer. Yeah, let's have some animals. Thank you. Thank you. Let's pick up one more. Thank you. Oops, and that one. Dragon on the bottom. Kundalini energy, the sacred serpent. Tell me you don't see a serpent everywhere in all of the motherfucking religions, cultures. Chinese, we have the dragon. They do the whole dragon festival with the big dragon that goes down the street. We have fucking all kinds of serpent energy, snakes, in the Kemet religion. We have the serpents coming out of the third eye on like Osiris's and Isis's headdresses, right? I could tell when I'm channeling sometimes. Shit is just coming in like so me as a Gemini, I'll start to think too much about one thing and Spirit's like, no, the next thing. I'm like, but wait, 10 million things about this one thing. And Spirit's like, no, the next one. So I just helps me get back into the heart space. Ooh, love these. So, this first one we have a beaver. He's so cute. I love him. He's so fluffy. I don't know if beavers are nice. Are they nice? They're little hard workers. I see him as like, the sun is like not even really come up quite yet, but he's just ready to go to work, right? He's just like, all right, I got that 9 to 5, you know, I'm like, I know I could do better, but like, we gotta go, you know, we gotta just stay moving, stay grooving, right? I don't know, I see this beaver as a hard worker though, you know, but also realizing that and kind of using our okay, so what I'm gonna say with the beaver is like, this is really earthly based energy, right? Just kind of following the crowd, not necessarily knowing anything of like deep gnosis, that not necessarily like going out and like seeking a spiritual work of any sort, right? Just go with me on this one. And then it's like, oh shit, we kind of recognize that there is more to this existence. We can be more than a certain type of archetype, you know, we can be more archetypes, we can be more animal archetypes. And what I'm seeing with this bat is like just being able to use the night energy, the moon energy, being in tune with that moon energy, that feminine energy. See, like searching for the nectars of the night is just what's coming to me. You know, bats are like usually just like fruit bats. They're really cute and just love to eat fruit. Get this bad rap of being like super scary, but are actually super scared and just eat little fruit, like baby mice too, you know, which is a beautiful thing. But yeah, just kind of being more in tune with our higher senses. So when I think of a bat, I think of like them like making this noise that like allows them to have like sonar vision in a sense, right? I think it's sonar, which also reminds me of like dolphin type of energy. They make noises to allow new, oh, okay. Yep, they allow noises to receive information back, right? To see what's going on, to be able to see. to be able to communicate is what I wanted to say when it comes to dolphins and using sonar. And what I hear with that is like hearing our voice, our roar. It's like Simba when he's like, rawr, and they're like, again. And he's like, rawr, just like has this like little, and then it's like finally this roar. And even though it's not his, you know, it's something he's capable of, right? So with this bat, I just hear, like, I just see like us expressing ourselves will finally allow us to find our way, even in the dark, even in the feminine energy. What is the feminine energy? The moon energy. It's the shit we can't see but we can feel, right? That subconscious heart. Our heart cannot see but it can feel, right? Our heart knows 20 seconds before our fucking mind knows. We stay more tapped in with this guy knows more than anything this can detect knows before that. Think about that. So even us really opening this channel and allowing this, you know, all this mental energy, all this going on here, we expressing it, we talking to people, we coming together and with our tribe, you know, and following along with each other, us finding partnership and being able to commune, to talk. Parrots talk, right? They fucking have a lot to say. Rio, they be out here singing songs and like dancing and like, yo, we just like want to be in love and shit, you know? And that, us really expressing ourselves and getting connected with the darkness, using that voice to help guide us in the dark, in that moon energy and the feminine energy in the void. The feminine is the void. In quantum physics, that dark, latent void, where all the energy in creation is waiting to be seeded with light, and the masculine energy, right? With the sun, the light. That Leo fire is about to set shit the fuck, like just, our hearts are just gonna be like, just like, ah. Is the only way to put it, you know? All right, so what is the Phoenix? Okay, so the Phoenix is the arising of the lower base chakras, the human-based chakras, the root red, or I'm sorry, yeah, the red root, the root represented by red, the orange represents the sacred, and the yellow represents the solar chakra. Phoenix, baby. So this is us transforming, transmuting, and ascending the lower chakras. Okay, so what I'm getting, what Spirit's telling me, is that this is what's happening with the masculine. Okay, they are ascending, they're getting this spark, this illumination through these crown chakra, right? Our lion mane energy, our hair receives energy all day, right? This is why the yogis wear their hair on top of their fucking head right here, why the babies have the soft spot. Okay, this is the soul, where the solar energy comes in, and this is where the baby's gaining consciousness of and things of what to do, how to use this body, right? So when we come down into this existence, you know, we get older, we get more rooted down, we find our foundation, our parenting, right? We start to feel this world, we're starting to feel feelings, we're starting to actually be beings of creation, of building, of filling, of like throwing fits, but then also we become building and creating of relationships, right? And then we also have our solar chakra, which is our confidence, our ego. Our ego can be good, right? Can keep us from bad things. But it can also be very damaged if we don't have a good rooting down, if we're not using our sexuality in the right way, if we aren't feeling, but we're just erratic and we're throwing and spewing our feelings out, right? Instead of taking them within and understanding them and using these lower chakras to give us information to our higher self. And a lot of us don't even have the heart space to even opened up to make a lot of this energy be real, just flowy, right? Flowing. So this is what I'm seeing with the masculine aspect of us. So whether that be the males, a little bit more male energy, but also just the overall masculine energy and how they go about sex. The women got the word about sexual transmutation, about all this like sacred sexuality. It's the masculine's turn now. They're lighting this shit up on fire. They're like, I gotta shed this old shit, this old paradigm. You know, I need to roar. And so I need to get this energy from the lower base chakras to root it down, to emptying of my sacred, juices, not using my ego in the proper way where I'm like standing up for myself. I'm using a good ego to show what a fucking beautiful creation I am, right? So none of this energy is getting up into this space where I can roar and I can own that crown and I can hold my head up straight, or head up high. When people are blocked off at the throat, they have their head down a lot. I know because I used to have this problem. So you have to fucking hold your head up high. Ooh, express ourselves, right? Hold that head up high and keep our crown up. So you can arise. Set this fucking lower chakras on fire. The lower solar plexus also includes that like lower part of the heart that ignites, right? That immaculate heart, the heart on fire, like Jesus and Mary be like, their fucking heart on fire, right? Where are we at? 52. Okay, let's go with archetype card. I'm being such a Gemini. See, you can't let me start thinking too much because then I'm like, down, baby. The women, the female, the feminine side is ready to do the work, ready to do some dark feminine work. The dark feminine is needed, okay, guys? When we have the one and we break it up into two, we have the masculine and feminine, the good and the bad, the dark and the evil, or the dark and the the dark and the light, the good and the evil, this polarity, right? But even when we break those polarities, so we break the dark in half, we have four, right? And how I like to think of it as you have your dark side is needed. We have the dark of the dark side and the lighter aspect of the dark side, right? What does that mean? The dark side destroys, it destructs. We need to destruct. We have to make room, right? We have to have destructive energy. But then there's the dark side of it where we have too much of it, but we're truly trying to annihilate some type of aspect in that darkness, right? Where we have to go into the lowest aspect of the dark, the darkest of the dark. Now then on the other aspect, we have the light. We have a little bit of the darker aspect of the light. The light, maybe we can say that like when people found the light, but they haven't really found their shadow and integrated that shadow, So it's like the good light, but it's not like it's not the highest of the high light, right? The God level light, the heavenly light, which is where we see all of it as one, right? And the darkest of the dark knows that it's just as needed, just as much as the highest of the high heavens, right? I hope you guys are catching my drift on this shit. Alright, fucking finish this up. Yeah, fucking heart got all swollen. Now it's gonna start on fire. Oh my gosh, I can't believe all this fire energy just popped out. Again, the desert energy, the land of where there's no the feminine is really lacking, right? Okay, let's think of elements, right? The feminine is the earth and the water. So we're lacking the waters in this in this land, right? And then the soil is so dried up and so like it has no moisture, the nutrients can't flow, it's deadly, right? We can't really plant anything on Kairos. Beautiful. Mythological timing, divine timing. Okay, but in the desert, the land of the exiled goddess, elemental wise, we have the soil. Has no water, right? So the nutrition's not moving. The feminine is just like fucking stagnant. You can't create new birth because there's nothing, like you can't get into the soil for one. And yeah, so basically the male dominance over this land, the sun, the fire energy, and the air were super dry, super windy. Their male dominance is just already present there, right? And that's elemental wise. So like even in Vegas, when we talk about the land of the exiled goddess, yeah, we can really talk about even those aspects having a play on what happens on the human world, right? So the spiritual world of the elements is actually even playing in the human world, right? Why is this coming to me? So yeah, I'm being called to the desert big time. And you see all these festivals and all of these like things going on in more of the desert-y areas. Burning Man, because we're trying to bring the feminine back into these areas. The desert used to be an ocean. This is why you see so many cool things in the desert. A lot of these areas you'll find shells in the desert, right? And this is why the natives are so, the energy is so potent on these lands, because it really is a spiritual world. Look at all this water energy, the blue. Kairos. Mythological timing. Outside of the structure and the masculine energy, this is feminine energy. This is when you're so engulfed in play and fun, and the time just like it's in a different time warp. You'll either be like having like time will go too fast, or it'll like be really slow and just like divine, and like so much can happen in a small amount of time. This happened to me while I was in Vegas, actually. I totally entered the portal I've been meaning to enter and was waiting for Spirit to give me the go, and I finally got it, and I was able to serve myself at the highest with a lot of dancing, a micro mushroom dose. I smoked a joint. I was like just so vibey. I was like just little pasties all in my fucking, and I took off my boots and I was just like jumping on the land, and I was so fucking connected, and I could just feel my energy just like just fucking like yeah, just felt so vivid, and the timing was just like, whoa, it's only been 30 minutes. It's so beautiful. The DJ was perfect. I like downloaded a ton of music from them, but while I was dancing, I started to feel heavy, like jolting, lightning energy, and got called to look at the floor, saw this kind of energy being surged, and it took me to this woman that was laying on the floor. I could just kind of see it. I was really connected with the land, and as a shaman, you know, I know how to get into these spaces very safely, and but also recognize a lot of things when I'm in these spaces going on in the 3D world that is connected with the spiritual world as well. So when I dancing and I'm really connected to the mother, I see just these lightning bolts going to this woman, and she's laid out on the floor, and her eyes are just back and forth, and she you could just tell took too much plant poison, and was totally in another world. And I believe what Spirit was telling me is she was experiencing kind of reliving a traumatic experience in her life, a lot having to do with her root and sacred chakra. So yeah, I just got pulled in when it's time for me to help someone. It's time for me to help someone, you know. And I ask and I get permission from my spirit guides. While simultaneously being asked by her spirit guides to help. And so, yeah, it was very magical. The way I was connected to her, but also very much in my safe bubble, my safe aura, my safe energy, very protected. And because my heart space was just so fucking juicy with dance and play and happiness and yeah, just music, I was vibrating at a very high level, and that just means like my heart space had me just like in this very safe capsule. And you know, that's like, you know, when we drop into meditation, astral projection, we're asked to be in our heart space, right? Because once we can fill the heart space with air and love and prana, we can create this force field that helps us connect with others, but also be well protected of ourselves. So I felt very much protected, but well in tuned with what she needed, and really just helping her move the energy, because my hands were just like vibrating, just so yeah, I can feel everything going on with her, and where she was reliving out this trauma, I could just feel where the energy was surging from, and it was just vibrating in me, and just like, you know, and just like fucking tossing that shit out there. And like, I kept asking her, you know, are we good? Can I work on it? And she's just so in tune with me, and she's like, yes. And it was pretty amazing, because at first I really, I don't know. it was just definitely meant, it was just meant to be. It was meant to help her. It was called, and you know, when I can help a sister go through something while she's on this medicine and reliving it and being introduced to it in some, you know, yeah, because it is a very vulnerable experience, and to be in this place of vulnerability in a place where it's so open and a lot of music, a lot of energies going on, yeah, we were able to get her in a safe place, and a lot of crazy wild things. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't feel comfortable telling her whole story, but you know, basically we were able to move her energies to, you know, ground it, and then to help bring it up, to figure out, to help bring the gnosis of what she needed to bring up, right? So if all this energy is down here, we can ground it, but then we can also bring some up to help her understand what the hell's going on with her too, right? So the fact that she was able to like identify that and be able to just connect it and like really express it and voice it out through singing. And I just helped her through it. You know, when the brain's this vulnerable, we have to reteach it, and we have to allow these people to, yes, experience that darkness, but to own it. And, you know, and me and her just tapped into the Kali, and I was like, come on, baby girl, you know who Kali is. And she just like, she's tripping, right? And we can be there for people, you know, when they're in these times outside of what we're living in, even, right? In these real feminine, vulnerable, open waters, because we just broke through something with plant medicine, right? So now we have to assess, and that we're like in this time outside of time and space, you know, and that it's okay, we're safe, right? We're safe. We are more than just this existence, right? This matrix, creatrix, right? I'm gonna end it there. I will talk more on my Vegas trip. Talk to you guys more about my plans coming up and things that are really aligning with me and what I need to do to help the feminine, bring the feminine to the desert. It's my land. Appreciate you guys.